This is the edit button. Today I'm reading Battlefield Quahog, which is a Family Guy spec that I wrote myself 20 years ago.
It was 20 years ago. We shot out of order. I never even knew what I was saying.
I got my hands on the Bible, which included the pilot. What I set out to do was to break down how the show worked. What I liked most was the tangents.
That'll be $27.50.
Roughly every minute and a half. I don't quite remember now. Maybe we'll see it on the page. I wanted to jump somewhere random at the same pace the real show did. I wanted my script to feel like an episode of The Family Guy, so you'll be the judge of that. Cold open. Exterior establishing the Griffin's house. Night. Interior, Griffin's attic. Same. Straight out of Grosse Point Blank. Stewie adjusts a tripod-like device stationed above a hole in the attic floor. Ooh. My first widow. Yeah, you could have killed Station. Spy music ensues. An established animation show, nobody needs to instruct the muso on how to do their job. On fiber optic camera LCD screen. I don't know what work that's doing for us. The fact that it's fiber optic. They're sleeping soundly. Back on Stewie as he inserts a syringe labeled Lois/Victory. Family Guy's a special case, you can do whatever the hell you want. But traditionally, when I was writing in animation, having text on screen like this was a giant no-no. So it limited the market potential of the series. Those are my two big tips for animation. No text on screen, no new locations. They are budget prohibitive. We follow the blue liquid as it streams down the fiber optic cable into the bedroom below. Not even homaging. Stewie has stolen the plot point from Grosse Point Blank. Okay, forgive me. I'm going to attempt to do some voices here. Maybe 20 years ago I could do these. I definitely can't do them now. So here we go. At last, Mother, your matriarchal reign of terror drips to an end.
It's how I forgive myself for what I've done.
What this script did do for me, this did show off that I could assimilate voice. So that was one of the notes that I got back from one of the showrunners that did hire me. I was told that I was good at assimilating voice and I was good at dialogue. Interior, Peter and Lois's bedroom. On Lois, the drip hanging inches from her face. Stewie consults his watch and a sleep pattern chat labeled Lois. So again, we're labeling things. Not too great. Lois stirs again. Stewie's triumph is palpable. Any second now. We got a bunch of widows on all of these lines. The way that I've broken out the beats here is very visual, shot for shot. I could have said on Stewie's watch in a sleep pattern chat. So, there's going to be some props in this room, some geography that I didn't set up. Now, on all the writing assignments that this script scored me, and all of the education that I received at Vancouver Film School for screenwriting, I'm surprised this is in here because one of the big things was the economy of words. And I've said it before on the channel. The challenge is make it sound good on a single line. I really feel like the real estate on the page is paramount. If I'm reading for the writer, I'm just going to note these and maybe I'm going to look at the sentence and try to see if there's a way that I could restructure it or give them a hint to which they could restructure it to lose the widow. But if I'm the gatekeeper, I'm looking for any excuse to move on to the next script that I have to read that day. Lois stirs again. Stewie's triumph is palpable. Any second now. Then, Lois goes flying out of bed, kicked as a result of one of Peter's night terrors. This could have been far more visual. It could have been a lot slicker. I would have probably tried to keep this on one line. Kicked as a result, this is just clunky as. Not good. Stewie's liquid freedom burns a hole. Liquid freedom, Jesus. Don't need that either. That's redundant. Stewie's liquid freedom burns a hole clean through one side of the bed. So if that was just the liquid burns a hole, because we know what it is, this is very season 1 of Family Guy. I'm already noticing that this is in the voice of the season. If I was sending this out as a writing sample now, I'd have to preface it with a caveat saying which season I'm intending it for, because at this stage, the show's evolved beyond this. JR, get down, no! I think the scream has to come before the liquid burn. This would definitely be a single of Peter or a wide shot of the room, and you'd need a close-up to get the result of the burn. So the structure here is completely off. I'm not going to paint the entire page orange, but Peter is in the wrong place. Back to Stewie. I could have simply done Stewie as a slug and Lois as a slug, or bedroom and attic, and that would have been perfectly acceptable. I see it a lot. Like, I just saw it in the Batman. Blast! End of cold open. Act 1. Exterior, establishing the Griffin's house. Day. Interior, Griffin's kitchen. Same. Chris, Meg, and Stewie, in his high chair, sit round the kitchen table. Lois serves Stewie his eggs. Stewie glares at them for a moment. Oh, no, you didn't. I said, Benedict, a pox on you. And he knocks it to the floor. Pox on you is over the top. I don't think he does that anymore. So again, we're in an old Stewie voice, if we're in a Stewie voice at all. You be the judge of that. He flings the eggs across the kitchen, slapping against a cupboard. I could have comma spliced my way through this in typical screenwriting fashion, and it would have perfectly been okay and got rid of this. Bum-ba-da-da. Widow. Stewie, continued. Not a big fan of continued anymore. I would have cut that out or just turned it off in my app. Well, I know a little boy who's going to be mighty hungry this afternoon. Very well, Mother. You may have taken the day, but with each compounding ignorance your doom draws closer, and when it comes, it shall be of your own recognizance. That is all. That's a lot of words. Stewie's gotten a lot more casual in his conversation since the first series.
There's a seagull in your hallway.
That would need a reduction to be in the right voice and the sweet spot for the character. Peter enters dressed in a suit and tie. Good morning, Griffins. I trust everyone slept well. He'd never ask his family that. So, yeah, I didn't. No, I'm not going to even attempt to do Chris here. Okay, I am. I didn't sleep at all. The evil monkey in my closet wouldn't let me go to bed. So, again, season 1, there's an evil monkey still at play. I think I even have the sea monkeys in this storyline. It's starting to come back to me a little bit. Chris lies in bed. He pulls the covers up to his nose. At the end of the bed, the closet door is blocked with a chair. Crack. An axe splits. So we're doing The Shining. Crack. An axe splits a hole in the door. An axe head? We don't need to know that it's an axe head. Less words is better. An axe splits a hole in the door. Again, that should be on the next line. From within, the evil monkey points. I feel like I'm probably stealing a style here that I read somewhere else. But you don't need to tell the musos how to do their job. They know where stings go.
I found this in her room.
My little girl's a drunk! Oh my God! Where did we go wrong?
Peter, Lois, and Meg just blink at Chris. Brian enters and pours himself a cup of coffee. My, someone's looking snazzy this morning. Lois, I don't wear clothes. Not you, Brian. Oh, you mean Peter. Peter, why are you all dressed up? What? Mr. Weed's making us all look professional to impress some big shots that want to buy the factory. We'll have to make a meal of this. We don't need what? It's just a non sequitur. I find in too many screenplays, when a character asks another character a question and all they get is the answer and they're talking about the weather, it's fucking boring. It's absolute dog shit. So every time I flag it, it needs to be 100% better. Now, it should be Toy Factory, not The Factory. Mr. Weed's dead. Obviously, we got season 1 problems here. But more importantly, there's a big problem here. We're only 5/8 into page 3, and Peter has just vomited the entire plot of the A storyline of this entire episode. It's dog shit exposition. I've just fisted it into Peter's mouth here. It doesn't fit. Oh, oh God. Now, fuck me. Okay. So not only has Peter just spat out the A storyline, Lois's reply is she's going to vomit out the B storyline. So why don't I just have Chris come in and vomit out the fucking C story? This is ridiculous. So yeah, I did structure this out. I kind of found that Family Guy had like an A, B, and C storyline. That's how I believe I remember I plotted this out. But I don't remember me just going like, hey, you know what's going to be great on page 3? Oh, Glenn called and he's invited us to the beach house this weekend. He said he's going to rent Sea-Doos.
Made it!
You wanted to ride the jet ski.
I wanted to ride the jet ski.
It's not nearly as bad as the way that I did it for Peter, but holy hell, are we just going, oh. I guess this is just how I interpreted people from New England. Because I sound like I'm from Boston, but I'm not. I'm a Canadian living in New Zealand, and it's just completely destroyed my rhotic eyes. Fucking, that's dog shit. So we'll label that as such. He could just come in. That is fan-freaking-tastic. I finally get to live a day in the life of David Hasselhoff. Cutaway. So again, we are not even a page and we are jumping into another tangent. Here we go. Exterior, Oval Office, day. Press and state officials crowd President Hasselhoff looking like Michael Knight as he finishes his speech. Finishes a speech. It's pretty good. Look, it's tight, concise little 2 lines there. I'm not sure about parentheticals, but it works. And with these simple changes to economic reform, we can expect to see an 85% national tax cut. Right, Kit? Pan over to reveal Kit parked in the Oval Office, a Secretary of State sticker on the windshield. So again, I don't know what that looks like, but it's going to look something official, but it's a dogshit parenthetical they have in the line, so it kind of makes no sense. You just need him to be there. That's too much reading. It breaks the flow of the page as well. You said it, Michael. The crowd goes wild. On Hasselhoff, he lowers his head in defeat. They voted Hasselhoff the President of the United States, but only as playing the character of Michael Knight with the car in the office? Wait, Quagmire, what the hell is he doing up this early? So, cutaway. I have a feeling I know exactly where I'm going here. So remember, Season 1, Quagmire. Interior, woman's bedroom. Quagmire enters. A naked woman lies in bed.
Hey, that was the office. I gotta go.
You'll call me later?
Hey, no way.
As far as Quagmire scenes go, I think they've evolved beyond this. I mean, I'd say that all goes. Exterior, establishing Happy-Go-Lucky Toy Company. So, Wick died in like season 3 or 4, so this ain't happening. Employees gather in the conference room. Mr. Weed enters. Okay, attention everyone, please. Oh, you are all so sultry and professional looking. On Peter, sitting with his coworkers. Professional? It feels like I'm in a Depends commercial. On TV screen, an old man, professionally dressed, sits in a boardroom full of executives. We've gone like 2/8 of a page and we're in another cutaway. I imagine I had fun writing this. I remember having fun writing this. CEO. Well, Jenkins, where's the proposal? The old man's face contorts with a strain and pressure. He squats above his chair, his face flushes with relaxation. Jenkins and all the executives stare in a silent laugh. What's a silent laugh? Fuck me. This whole thing's a bit clunky. Announcer, VO, depends. Shit anytime, anywhere. As you may have heard, Happy-Go-Lucky is for sale on the stock market. So this weekend, there will be a mandatory seminar for all of you to meet our potential buyers. Ah, crap. This means I can't get loaded at Quagmire's beach house this weekend. On his co-workers watching Mr. Weed. SFX. What was that? I said pshop. That's redundant. The co-workers turn back around. SFX. Long swig. I like it. I think I think that's a good gag. I mean, I'm a bit biased, but I'd buy it. Door opens and many Korean business types flood into the room. I could have just said many Korean business types flood into the room. Now that's like a fucking student film. A door opens. What are we going to just cut away to an empty door? It's a pre-frame. Out. Furthermore, our interested buyers plan to build another Happy-Go-Lucky toy factory in Korea. These are their employees. Already the A-story plotline doesn't make sense. Mr. Weed's courting a potential buyer who already have plans to build a new factory. Another big long swig and a belch. Today they will be studying your work habits. You will pair up with the team and attend the seminar together this weekend. A very attractive female stands out in front. Peter, off screen. Hey, check out the cans on that chick. $5, $5. Yeah. No one gets it. It's obviously Peter being racist or just being clueless and racist. I don't know how that flies today. I haven't watched The Family Guy in a few seasons. I still think it's in keeping. It ain't great, but it's there. Mr. Weed and the attractive woman, Sarah Kim, approach Peter as he picks his nose. Okay, so that's for the animation director to really just embellish on what the characters are doing. I don't need to put it on the page. Peter, this is Sarah Kim. She will be your partner for the bids this weekend. Do you mean I gotta have sex with her? No, Peter. But I'm trusting you to show her a good time while she is visiting our company and tell her what exactly it is that you do here. Mr. Weed leaves. Sarah stares with a blank look. Not great. Peter, still picking his nose, looks around, then scratches the back of his neck. Okay, so this is really, really directive. If this was a drama and micromanaging actors, animation, I'm telling a whole bunch of people what to do. This is the animation director's job. It's not really, it doesn't need to be on the page. Geez. Me no speak a Korean. That's okay, Peter. I speak English. In perfect Korean. Crap. Peter runs off screen. Sarah's left with a confused look on her face. There's such a better way of saying Sarah stands there with a confused look. This is shitty writing. Peter runs off. I don't need to say screen. Sarah is left dumbfounded. That's it. Stewie and Rupert are having a tea party in the yard. He adjusts a new remote control device while Lois toils in the garden behind. I say, Rupert, pay attention. Now with my simple yet ingenious new... What? 2 sugars? Oh, I'm dreadfully sorry. Do you have enough milk? On Rupert. He has a milk mustache. Okay, so it's a bit... It's not great. Stewie extends the remote's antenna and adjusts some knobs. Cutaway. Interior 747 cockpit. The pilot looks ahead to see Providence Airport. We are now beginning our descent to... The plane steers out of control and begins to plummet into the Providence skyline. So that's just an artifact of me updating a final draft to fade in. Oh my god, it's coming straight for us! What the hell do we do now? Pulling back, the pilot looks to the co-pilot, who is a large inflatable clown in a similar uniform. So that's a direct reference to Airplane.
Hey, buddy, wake up. We're all about to die.
What? What are you talking about?
Yeah, I thought I should wake you up. Nobody wants to die in their sleep.
Sound effects, helicopter blades getting closer. Pan up. A military gunship slowly descends towards the Griffin's house. Splendid, this shall do nicely. I'm afraid tea will have to wait, Rupert. That's all that's required. My campaign, not needed. Quagmire reaches in and picks up Stewie, dropping his controls. What the deuce? Hey there, Junior. You all ready to ride the waves with the Q-Man? Oh, if it isn't the man-whore from next door. You've scotched me for the last time, you man-whore, you. Hi, Glenn. Hi, Lois. Ready for the wild weekend of love at the Quagmire Sex Fortress? Be warned, things have been known to get a little out of hand. All right. Sound effects, shower running. Interior, Quagmire's beach house. Same. A steamy shower barely reveals 2 people inside. Oh, Glenn, sweetie, I dropped the soap. Heh heh, you sure did. Oh! It's not good. I don't like it. I mean, I get what I'm trying to do, and maybe it fit for season 1 of Quagmire, where that's all he did. I think the show's evolved beyond my writing. Page 10, back to present. Exterior Griffin's yard. Lois takes Stewie. We're all looking forward to it, aren't we, Piggy? Reach in and take Stewie. Pan over to reveal Piggy. Oh, I won't be able to do much at the beach because of my asthma. God, I'm not the bloody conch. I'll take no part in this. Stewie frees himself. He grabs his controls and stops to point a finger at Quagmire. And you, your insolence has not gone unnoticed. I shall make an example of you. He scurries inside. He's just so excited. Hey, so am I. Hey, all right. Not great. The joke here really is Lord of the Flies. And here's why it doesn't work. Because I've done another useless Quagmire cutaway to just show that he's a man-whore when we don't need to do this. The flow's broken. You want to have this rhythm of Stewie being past, speak, past, speak, past, speak. It's just badly structured. It's too far departed from the start of the rhythm of the joke. Interior living room later. We now return to When Light Bulbs Burn Out on Fox. On TV screen, interior hospital, the door opens. To the top of a dark stairwell, a man holds a box labeled STDs. Reaches for the light switch. The lights flick on but then burn out. He continues down the stairs, back to scene. Interior living room, smashing glass as the man falls down the stairs. Didn't see that one coming, Fox. Once again, you've outdone yourselves. An instant classic. Now, Fox doesn't exist, so again, we're dating ourselves here. Peter comes home. Lois has a concerned look on her face. Yeah, not painting any pictures. I'm just telling it like it is. It's bad writing. It's the breadwinner. How'd you go at work? Peter? Oh, it was awful, Brian. First, Mr. Weed made us sit through some scientific audit. Flashback. Interior happy-go-lucky. Peter sits in an office with a cloaked figure with a
spaceship beep boop
insignia. I don't know if they have any insignia, but he's got one. Peter's hooked up to a lie detector and other electronic equipment. Okay, and what's your current social security number? 853... Wait a second. What's that got to do with personal power? Are you recording this? Peter tears off the cloak to reveal a Lost in Space type robot. The robot bats Peter with a 2x4 until he's unconscious. Back to present. Peter? If I took the cutaway out of the scene and just played it by itself, Lois is just repeating herself. She's just a metronome of what's. Then I find out that I can't go to Quagmire's this weekend because of some stupid crippled diabetics seminar. So crippled, not very nice, Peter, but Peter's not very nice. Peter slams a copy of Dianetics on the table. Peter, you're reading Dianetics? Yeah, and that's not even the worst part. Then Weed pairs me up with this knockout Filipino lady and she does nothing but come on to me all day. Again, apologies for my Peter impression. Ain't good. None of them are good. Flashback. Happy-go-lucky toy company. Peter darts down the hallway and stops to catch his breath. Pan over to see Sarah Kim walking down another hall. Peter looks around and climbs into an old English phone booth. Doctor Who phone booth dematerialization sound effect. Exterior, vast English countryside. Doctor Who phone booth materialization sound effect. The phone booth materializes in the middle of nowhere. Who the hell are you? I might be any number of things, my dear man. As it so happens, I'm the doctor. You mean like a gynecologist? That's exactly how the doctor would introduce himself. So that's not a bad line. The gynecologist line ain't the greatest, but what else is Peter going to say? It doesn't actually matter. It's the nostalgia of Doctor Who. It doesn't need to be polished. They share an uncomfortable stare, back to present. That's how I should be writing all of these stares. They share an uncomfortable stare. None of this like, she has uncomfortable stare on her face, kind of overriding nonsense. Peter, I need to talk to you. Oh, hey, Lois. He kisses her and makes the mwah sound. Lois looks concerned, then looks to Brian. There's a lot of ping-pong and looks. That's not how the show works, but okay, we'll get through it. Okay, I get it. You know I'm the one trying to sleep at the end of the bed while you two make out like a couple of teenagers. I'll be in the yard. Brian leaves. Lois holds up a folded white cloth. Peter, I found this in your hamper today. Is there something you want to tell me about? There was this special at the taco barn. They were practically giving them away. No, Peter, I found those. So we're talking about skid marks. Doesn't really work. She fluffs it out to reveal a white shirt with lipstick on the collar. Stewie's attention. So Stewie was in the scene? Good establishing characters, Greg. Oh, this is lavish. He's been unfaithful. Kill him! No, she's discovered you. Kill her! Yes, I rather like that. Oh, that. Nah, that's from when Cleveland took me to see that play, Kiss of the Spider-Woman. Okay, I remember writing this one. No, this isn't going to be good. Flashback. Interior, grand theater balcony. Peter and Cleveland sit in the first row of the balcony. Did the Avengers just come out? Who's that? Is that guy Captain America? A female spider dangles down next to Peter's shoulder. I can't make out anybody from these seats. Where's Peter Parker? She starts groping his neck and ear. Oh, baby, hey, baby. You like that? Cut it out. I'm married. Oh, come on, baby. Give me some of that sugar. Come on. Stop it. Watch the damn show, you bastard. Peter pulls out a can of bug spray and sprays the spider as well as the eyes of the woman beside him. She falls over the balcony screaming, back to present. What the fuck? I like that I'm on point with some Avengers references. Those have aged well. The rest of it's fucking dog shit. Interior living room. Ugh, this is falling flatter than Emily Bronte. But I just thought because, well, you haven't been very tender with me lately. Flashback. Ooh, another flashback. Daniels, what are we doing? What's the page count on this fucking half-hour sitcom? Bed springs. The lights are out. Oh, Peter. Oh, Peter. Peter wakes up. Back to present. Peter's face is devastated. He pulls his suit jacket in tightly. You took advantage of me. Lois, Brian, Chris, and Stewie sit round the table. Meg enters waving a bathing suit. Mom, Chris used my bathing suit to clean his fish tank again. Ha! I went swimming with the sea monkeys. So the sea monkey reference doesn't age very well. Gross, Mom. Why can't I stay home with Dad? Besides, Debbie Miller's having a party this weekend. Nice try, Meg. The Swansons are coming. Meg's face lights up. I have to go pack. Meg loves Kevin. Meg loves... Shut up, urinal puck collector. Meg leaves in a hurry. I say, Mother, look what I found. Peter enters. Nice spread, Hef, but hardly Playmate of the Year. In a minute, Stewie. Peter, you should call Glenn and let him know that you're not coming. I don't know what I'm on about here at all. Quagmire, VO on machine. Hey, I'm out. I'm in. I'm out. I'm in. All night long. Hehe, all right. That might be the only competent Quagmire line I've got in the entire script. But answering machines, no longer a thing, so it's out. I like that I'm doing things dynamically in here. So we're hearing a sound effect that doesn't play directly to the gag of what's being heard on the answering machine, but then we pan over to reveal what the slapping sound effect is. So there's a lot of different layers to this cutaway. And again, I think that's the closest I've gotten with Quagmire's voice. Do I give myself praise? No. We'll just keep going. Mommy, look. Daddy's been unfaithful. What are these? Peter, who's this woman? Nobody. Who the hell's this? Peter throws down a signed headshot of Seth MacFarlane. Oh, I don't know. Who's anyone? So he fumbles there. I didn't do a good job, obviously, but I think that would work. He's sure awful pretty to be working in a factory. Yeah. I mean, no. No, I said no there. No. Ha! Buffoon! He's hiding something. Stewie points a finger to Lois. She's seen your scarlet letter. Destroy her! Holy crap! Stewie's English? With a series like The Family Guy that's constantly making pop culture references, you can't assume that your ideas are worth anything, you're just going to pull the same ideas out of the ether. They're just there. I'm making
Spaceship beep boop.
references to Hasselhoff, Doctor Who. It's just all pop culture just thrown in there. There's nothing in here that they couldn't have come up with on their own and executed in a far better way. End of Act 1. Act 2. Happy-go-lucky interior same. Peter, wearing a Star Trek t-shirt and Spock ears, sits in the conference room among others. Mr. Weed enters in front of a large set of floor-to-ceiling curtains. Not sure if I'm setting the scene there. I like where Peter is. I like the t-shirt. The nice people at Diakinetics have put together a presentation for us. Please enjoy Mr. John Travolta. The curtains pull back to reveal John Travolta on the garage set from Grease. Music ensues. We don't need music ensues. Support dancers descend from above and the floor becomes disco squares. Hello, Peter. Suspicious. Charlie. Racist, but it kind of works for Peter. This seat's taken. Sarah moves to the other side. Peter does the same. Taken. I think we've started on the wrong foot. Started? What started? We didn't start anything. I didn't start. Did you start anything? She sits a seat away. What? Very slowly, Peter picks his navel and eats it. Establishing Griffin's house living room, Brian sits on the couch with a book. Distant scratching. Brian's ears perk up. Distant scratching. He puts his book down, walks into the kitchen. Interior kitchen continuous. Lois is packing cooler. She looks concerned. I sure like telling everybody that Lois looks concerned. Did you hear that? Lois, what's wrong? Hi, Brian. Nothing really. Scratching. Just a second. Brian opens a cupboard. There stands a 2-inch tall Aquaman. Seeing Brian, he leaps down a crack in the woodwork. Diminishing dolphin squeak. You haven't seen the last of me. Talk to the fishes, my ass. Random. Oh, Brian, I'm worried about Peter. I'm afraid he's lost interest in our marriage. I know it's silly. No, Lois, it's perfectly natural to be jealous at different stages in a marriage. That's been going on as long as yours. You have nothing to worry about. Let's face it, it's not like Peter's a catch. Not by any stretch. I mean, come on. I love the guy, but I've lifted my leg to things with more charisma. Brian. Prettier, too. Sorry. Look, if it will make you feel any better, I can stay home this weekend and keep an eye on him. No, Brian. I can't ask you to do that. No, really, Lois. It's no problem. Actually, I was thinking of staying home anyway. Low angle, he stands in a superhero-esque pose. One ear perks up. Something's come up. Distant dolphin chuckle. Fucking hell. That doesn't have to be a sound effect. I think I'm being a bit too prescriptive there. Interior, Stewie's room. A nice relaxing vacation is precisely what they're going to have in Tizzy. Okay, so he's doing this thing with Rupert. I think I've gilded it. It's too much. I think at the time my favorite Family Guy moment was the map of Europe that's pulled out of Lois after he's born. And I think I'm tripling down on him being this supervillain. And I don't think that's where he ended up. Quagmire's Cadillac convertible sits in the Griffin's driveway. Next door, Joe's truck is loaded up. Chris, Lois, and Quagmire are out front. Meg walks over to the Swansons' yard. Hi, Mrs. Swanson. Do you mind if I ride in your car? Oh, Joe makes all those decisions, honey. What's for supper? Who's on top?
Hey, no problem, Meg. Hop in, kiddo.
Meg gets in the back with Kevin. Hi, Kevin.
Hey, Quagmire. Let's get this show on the road.
You heard the man and you know the drill. Hey, where's Peter? Sorry, Glenn. Peter isn't coming. He had to work. Not coming? Playing pony on the Q-Man. That's not... Lois bends over to put a bag in the trunk. Oh, let's go. I think that was a perfectly good Quagmire exchange. So I've done two in 26 pages. Pan down on Stewie, drags a silver metallic briefcase to Quagmire's feet. Drags a metallic briefcase. Now look here. If there's so much as a scratch on this, when we reach our destination, I'll kill you. And since I'm going to kill you anyway, be careful. He points a finger up at Quagmire. I've had him pointing a lot of fingers. I can't remember this happening so often in an episode. Although I feel like I'm not doing a bad job, if I didn't know that I wrote this, I'd think I'm pretty close. I mean, with just the caveat that it exists in the first season, I think it's a decent writing sample. I definitely wouldn't send this out now. To edit it to make it fit now would cause irreparable damage. Just the fact that Mr. Weed's dead and no longer in the series. If we were an away team, you'd die first. They continue on. Peter and Sarah exit. A black tar beast crashes through the wall. Ensign Smith, co-worker, attempts to save himself before being devoured. My name is Phil a Buck. I work in sales. It's no use. Brian has torn up the carpet behind the TV. Muffled scratching. His tail wags as he continues. Peter enters.
Peter, you're home late.
Yeah. Took me forever to get rid of that horny Korean. I don't care what anybody says. Nothing gets Asians out. I tried everything. Flashback. Racist. We have a long classic hallway of doors. A door opens and Peter runs across the hall. He's followed shortly by Sarah. So I've done a gag here that's the Scooby-Doo hallway of doors. Interior Jabba's palace. Peter stumbles backward in the dark. Dim lights come on. Electronic generator starting. A small control panel lights up. Peter, sweating, fiddles with the panel buttons, attempting to put $1 in. Freaking hell. Give me a soda! Carbonite defrosting sound effect. A man in frozen carbonite begins to defrost. A plaque reads, L. Ron Hubbard. L. Ron's body falls face first on the ground with a thud, clearly not as reanimated as planned. Hey, Disney, you got any change? Back to present.
So what happened with the Korean?
She got on a flight and went home. I tell you, Brian, I don't know what I'd do if I didn't have Lois around to keep me in line. That and the almighty Catholic fear of God. Peter turns to God seated beside him on the couch. There, I mentioned you. You happy? Bonnie puts suntan lotion on Joe's back. Lois lies in the sun with Stewie wearing a turtle floaty. Chris builds a massive artistic structure in the sand. Meg enters. How'd you get that scar, Mr. Swanson?
Funny you should ask that question, Meg.
Everyone pays attention. Flashback. A police car sits in the driveway. Joe.
I was in the field, investigating a routine domestic dispute.
Joe stands taking notes from a ranting Willie Tanner. Kate Tanner looks on with concern. Oh, officer, it's nothing. Really, my wife didn't mean to call. This sort of thing happens all the time. I just told him to get his spaceship out of the garage. No, this is the last time. He ain't lucky. That furry bastard ain't lucky.
All right, ma'am, just calm down. Who is lucky?
A cat.
Where did you say this Gordon Shumway is now?
Alf runs out the door. Cop chase ensues.
Suspect on the move. I'm in pursuit.
Joe tackles Alf in a park. They battle it out.
I didn't eat that cat. You got nothing on me.
Battle continues, blow for blow. Joe pins Alf down after repeatedly bashing his head into the ground.
Let's see some papers.
He produces some from Alf's pocket. Alf has pockets?
Nice try, Gordon. Looks like it's back to Melmac.
Back to beach. So I think that's a great cutaway. I didn't see much in the way of the action slowing it down. It was a great mix. I'm doing a great job. I'm so clever.
Yeah! Awesome time! This is very fun for me! And me too!
The fact that I'm taking like cops and pairing it with Alf and then mushing those together, or I'm taking like the away team in the Scooby-Doo hallway, so I'm taking like that tar beast killing Ensign Smith. I think it's working. I've read this in 20 years, so I'm glad that I'm able to take sort of fresh eyes to it.
Illegals always put up the most fight.
Enter Quagmire holding a Pawtucket Patriot. I don't know why that's capitalized. Whoa, Dunsville laying around like a bunch of dirty drifter carnies. Hey look, you can see that lady's labia. He points to a woman in a string thong bikini. Chris, that's a terrible word. Labia. Wow, hold on there, Lois. The kid's onto something. On woman, Quagmire jumps up in front of her. Hey, Ariel, how it's about rapping not great. Interior Griffin living room. Peter sits motionless in front of the television. Chris parasails high above Joe and Bonnie, towing him from the Sea-Doo. I'm king of the world! He sails over the bow of the Titanic just as Leonardo DiCaprio recites the same words. Chris knocks him overboard. Cutaway, Jack Dawson, DiCaprio treads water. It's not that cold. The Titanic then runs him over. It looks like everyone's having a wonderful time, Glenn. A horrible line from Quagmire. This is absolutely dog shit. Oh, Glenn, stop. I hope Cleveland is having a nice weekend with his mother-in-law. Cutaway. Random. Just getting all those characters into one episode there, tryhard. Cleveland Jr.'s on the roof. He jumps back and forth, hops up and down, laughing. Ha 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 ha. Cleveland and his mother-in-law are on the lawn. Come down now, Cleveland Jr. Your grandmother's here to see you. Ha ha ha, I'm an astronaut. Hi, Grandma. Robert Lawrence Jr. flying to the moon, blasting off. Ha ha. You know, he has been doing so much better since the last time you came to visit. Your son's a retard.
You can use the R one.
I don't know if Family Guy would try to pull this off in modern day. Through high-tech binoculars, Lois and Quagmire play on the Sea-Doo. What the deuce? Oh, this is too bloody perfect. The day has finally come to rid myself of this parental mare and that womanizing trollop. We must act quickly. Rupert! Stewie's head pops out from a trench in the sand. He adjusts the knobs of his device and takes control of the Sea-Doo and begins to charge a rock-covered pier. Cutaway. Cutaway spelt wrong. Well done, Daniels. Peter is asleep in front of the television. On Stewie, who is the same. On Lois and Quagmire, who are freaking out. On Joe and Bonnie as their Sea-Doo beaches in front of Stewie. The wake floods his trench, soaking his device. Damn! Stewie throws the remote control on dry sand. Chris lands on it. Sorry, dude. Treason! Interior Griffin's house living room. Brian sits reading. Miniature starfish pummel to cover the book. Brian lowers his book to see Aquaman at the base of the stairs. Aquaman assumes a pose a la Bruce Lee and calls Brian on.
You're no superhero.
On Brian, he snaps his fingers. A SWAT team storms to all sides of Aquaman. They hold him at gunpoint. Brian walks over and casually places a glass over the tiniest paranoid superhero.
Thanks, fellas.
Interior gazebo. Peter sits alone drinking a Pawtucket Patriot beer. Many others are strewn about the floor. Brian enters. Hey, Brian. You think maybe I helped things with Lois? Brian? By making her jealous?
Oh, you didn't make her jealous, Peter. You just rubbed it in a little with a pinch of paranoia.
Thanks, Brian. You know, I really needed that, Brian. You're a good dog, Brian. You're a good dog, Brian. Hey, I found you. Why didn't I get to name you? Hey, Brian? Something like Tito or Jackson? Tito Jackson. Hey, Jummo!
You haven't heard a word I've said, have you? You're drunk off your ass.
He points to Michael Jackson drinking quietly in the corner.
I blame you for this. Get your pale king of pop ass out of here before I call the cops.
Michael takes off to the side door. I'm still overwriting things, but I think that's pretty efficient. We've probably seen Peter be the drunk Brian guy before. Brian and Peter sit watching the news. On TV, Tom Tucker and Diane Simmons. I'm going to skip this bit because I'm going to do the upside down sun. There's just no reason for it. This weekend, Quahog welcomes the city's first church of
Spaceship beep boop.
We were on site at the ribbon cutting today by Battlefield Earth star John Travolta. Tom pukes under his news desk. Sorry. Travolta exits a Star Wars-looking ship and he's followed by Boba Fett in the hovering case containing L. Ron Hubbard. Interior Griffin's house living room. The door opens and Lois, Meg, and Chris and Stewie arrive home. It's so nice to be home, isn't it? Nice to be home. It's so nice to be home. Enough. Don't rub it in. Rupert, debriefing at 2100. So, how was it? I went flying, just like the 60s. Kevin didn't even touch me the whole weekend. Meg, not until you're 30. Interior Chris's room. Chris enters to find a new addition to his fish tank. The lid is sealed tight. Brian passes by the door.
Enjoy.
Okay, cool. Cool, thanks, dude. Cutaway. Fish tank, the sea monkey family. Help Aquaman adjust. Aquaman looks extremely uncomfortable. No, I've put my fin down. He's not staying with us in the castle. He can sleep under the rock tonight, and we'll talk about it in the morning. Now go to bed. But, Dad.
Good night.
Peter and Lois get ready for bed. Brian enters and lays on the bed. How did things go with your Korean friend? Oh, Lois, you had nothing to be jealous of. I know, I wasn't worried.
Oh, by the way, no one came home with him if that's what I was to stay home to keep an eye out for.
So you want to talk about it? Bedroom door opens and in bursts Roadblock, rhyming member of the G.I. Joe Elite Fighting Force. Roadblock! Hey, Lois! Peter loves you, no doubt. You didn't need to worry or have the dog stick around to find out. Sometimes the ultimate test of love is trust. And now we know.
And knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe!
Chris, Meg, and Stewie leave the room. Peter, Brian, and Lois all stare at Roadblock, smiling intently. I don't need this smiling intently. We got it. Now get the hell out. Roadblock looks surprised. His bubble burst. The end. I enjoyed this. It didn't age well. There's nothing woke about this episode. The A storyline isn't the strongest. It's like, what's the connection between Korea and Dianetics or Korea and
Spaceship beep boop.
It's pathetically not there. I'm pretty sure that all my SFX and flashbacks and ellipses, that was either advice that I got at film school or I'm lifting these devices straight off the pages of the pilot. Did this sound like a Family Guy episode? You guys tell me. Comment below.